everyone, and welcome back to the Bayer Healthy Community Kitchen for another quick tip. My name is Claire, and I'm going to be showing you today how to make a simple roast turkey for your Thanksgiving table. The ingredients you'll need for this recipe is one 12 to 20 pound turkey, which I've already thawed in the fridge. You'll need one onion, which I've peeled and quartered, one apple, which I just quartered, and a lemon, which I've quartered as well. You'll need some fresh herbs. So I have sage, rosemary, and thyme here. You'll need salt and pepper to season the inside of your turkey. And then we're going to be making a flavorful herb butter to season the outside of our turkey, but also the inside as well. And for that, you'll need 1 cup of unsalted butter, some salt and pepper, and then fresh chopped herbs. So once again, I'm using fresh chopped sage, rosemary, and thyme. You'll also need 1 pan to roast your turkey in. I'm using a disposable aluminum pan, but you can always use a roasting pan that you have at home. Just want to make sure it's big enough to fit your turkey. So thawing your turkey. So it's recommended that you give about 24 hours per 5 pounds of turkey. So for a 12-pound bird, it's about 2 days of thawing time. You want to make sure that you're thawing your turkey at the lowest shelf of your refrigerator, just to make sure it doesn't drip onto any fresh foods or other prepared foods that you have for Thanksgiving. So what we're going to need to do is to remove the turkey from its packaging, and you can do this in the sink, but what we don't need to do is rinse or wash our turkey. If we rinse or wash our turkey, we can actually introduce more bacteria to our sink and to the surfaces in which we might be preparing fresh foods on. So I just recommend cutting it open, opening up, removing your turkey, and putting it directly into your roasting pan. So I'm going to do that right now. Alright, so I removed my turkey from the packaging and I just placed it into my roasting pan. And what we're going to do now is make our herb butter. So like I said, this is 1 cup of unsalted butter, which I brought to room temperature. You want to make sure it's soft enough that you can mash in a bowl. If you're using salted butter, I would just leave out the salt that's in the recipe for the herb butter. All right, so I'm gonna mash up my butter just to make it easier to work with. And then we're gonna season it. So we're seasoning it with 1 teaspoon of salt. Like I said, if you're using salted butter, just leave out the salt. 1/2 teaspoon of freshly cracked black pepper. You can also just use plain black pepper. 1 tablespoon each of chopped fresh thyme, fresh sage, and fresh rosemary. If you'd like to do this recipe with dried herbs, what I recommend is using half the amount of dried herbs that it calls for fresh. That's just because dried herbs are typically more potent in flavor and in aroma compared to fresh herbs. All right, so we're just gonna mix that together. If you have, you can make herb butter to use for any like fresh rolls that you're serving at your table or spreading on any bread that you have. All right, so that's all mixed up. And I'm just gonna set this aside while we prepare the rest of our turkey. All right, so I set my herb butter aside and I cleaned my hands. And to prepare our turkey for seasoning, we're just going to pat it dry with some paper towels. And patting it dry is going to ensure that we have a very crispy skin. That's the best part. Make sure you get the legs and all the breast and all around. Now, I've already removed the neck and the bag of giblets from the turkey. Just want to make sure that you remove those if your turkey comes with those. You can save your neck and your giblets for using for stock or even if you're making turkey gravy. So I've removed those already and I've set those aside. Now what we're going to do is we're going to loosen the skin from the turkey meat. And to do this, the best way is to start at the neck and get your fingers in there, and that's why we're using clean hands. We're going to use our fingers to kind of loosen the skin from the turkey. And this takes a little bit of effort. I've already started a little bit, but we're just trying to make sure we're not tearing the skin, we're just loosening it from the meat. All right, and if you can get up into the thighs as well, that's also good. So do both sides. And then I'm gonna go wash my hands. All right, so I have clean hands again, and now we're going to season the inside of the cavity of the bird. And to do this, you're going to need your 1 onion, apple, and lemon, which you've quartered. You're going to need all of those fresh herbs again. So I've got, 3 to 4 sprigs of thyme, of rosemary, and of sage, and then salt and pepper again. So key to a good juicy bird is to make sure that you salt and pepper your Thanksgiving turkey well. So the cavity, we're gonna move it around, and the cavity is going to just be like this. That's where you're gonna find your turkey neck and your giblet bag. And I'm just going to season it with salt and pepper. Get that in there, spread that around. And then with pepper also as well. And you can put in your fresh herbs, just stuff it all the way in. If you want to leave some for the outside, you can do that as well. And then with all of my onion and my lemon and apple. Once again, this is optional. You don't have to stuff your turkey with the onion, the lemon, and the apple, but it does give it really nice flavor. And you can always, if it's a little too small, it's a little stuffed, you can just leave some around the outside. Now we're going to put our herb butter onto our turkey. So I've loosened the skin from the turkey like we just did. And now what we're going to do is actually going to put about half this herb butter up underneath the skin, but onto the turkey. So you can use a spoon, kind of get it up there. And then using your hands to spread it under. And it's slippery, but it's really fun, getting in tune with your food. So I'm just gonna spread that all underneath there. Now, whatever butter that you're using for your turkey, you do not want to use for any rolls or bread, because it will definitely be cross-contaminated with some turkey juices. So I recommend making a new batch of herb butter. And then what you can do is use the remaining butter to kind of patch on the top. And we're gonna spread this all over our dried turkey that we patted dry. Get it all in there. Okay, so once your turkey is completely covered with all of that good herb butter, and you can even put a little bits at the bottom of the pan, that'll help create some really nice drippings. We're going to tuck the wings underneath the bird, and that's gonna prevent those little wingtips from burning. So just tuck those under. And if your turkey doesn't already have the legs tied together, you can tie them together as well. That just keeps everything in place. Okay, so I tucked the wings underneath the bird, and then I preheated my oven to 325 degrees. So this is a lower temperature, but it's gonna be low and slow. It's gonna make sure our bird cooks really, really nice and tender. And I moved my oven racks so that it's at the lowest rack level. And that's gonna make sure that our bird can sit in there and have enough space to cook. So I'm gonna put this turkey in the oven. It's gonna be about 3.5 hours to cook this turkey, and we can check it halfway through to make sure that none of that butter is burning. If it is, or it looks like it's browning too much, you can always cover it with aluminum foil to help make sure it does not burn. So I'll put this back in, and I'll see you back here in a little while. All right, so our turkey is completely cooked. It reached an internal temperature of about 165 degrees. And then what I did is, after removing it from the oven, I let the turkey rest for about 30 minutes. That's going to make sure that all of the juices are evenly distributed throughout your turkey and they don't just flow out when you cut them. So I arranged mine on a platter with some fresh parsley and a little lemon. Feel free to slice it and eat this beautiful roast turkey at your Thanksgiving. Me and everyone here at Operation Food Search wishes you a wonderful and safe Thanksgiving holiday. If you have any questions regarding making your Thanksgiving turkey the day of Thanksgiving, you can call the USDA's Meat and Poultry Hotline at 888-674-6854. The hotline is open from 8 to 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Thanksgiving Day. So if you have any questions about your turkey, make sure to give them a call. Make sure to check out other videos that we have on Operation Food Search's website, quick tips to how to make some of our favorite meals and recipes. Once again, happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you later.